call. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I welcome the opportunity to talk to the Chamber about the importance of our environment, and I thank the member for Godfrey for bringing this motion. I wasn't born here, but I've been incredibly grateful to live here for the past 30 years. The richness, the diversity, the beauty and the uniqueness of our environment is unparalleled. Like many have said here, my own life is very bound up with the amazing environment, from walking in Kakadu, exploring remote Arnhem Land in the desert, or swimming in my local Gurumbai, Rapid Creek. I love and care for our environment at a very personal level. And our job here in this chamber is to look after our environment, look after the NT and look after the people here, the people and the environment that we all love. So I stand before you today to address a matter of significant concern to people in my community that I think threatens the very essence of our democratic processes and the strong environmental protections that we've worked hard to establish. The proposed creation of a Territory Coordinator is, at its core, an undemocratic move that will undermine the checks and balances we have in place to ensure transparency, accountability and responsible decision-making. This is not just a policy shift, this is a direct challenge to the democratic principles that allow every Territorian to have a say in how their environment is managed and how their resources are used. The decision to centralise power in the hands of one person, an unelected bureaucrat, together with the Chief Minister, has serious implications for our system of government. We risk sidelining the voices of local communities, businesses, experts and environmental stakeholders and landowners, traditional owners, who have a right to participate in decisions that will impact their lives, their businesses, their environment. This is not how democracy works. Democracy is about shared responsibility, consultation and transparency. The proposed coordinator will bypass the rigorous processes we have in place to ensure that policies reflect the needs and values of the people that we're all meant to serve, and instead create a situation where decisions are made in closed rooms with winks to each other, without proper public scrutiny, without input from those who will bear the consequences of those decisions. This is a direct contradiction to the principles of open governance and accountability that I've heard this government commit to. The draft bill includes a schedule of 32 laws that could be overridden by the Chief Minister or Territory Coordinator, and many of these laws have nothing to do with the environment. They relate to economy, they relate to health and safety provisions that are designed to keep us all safe. I'm unclear why we need to override these laws, for example, the Nuclear Waste Transport, Storage and Disposal Prohibition Act of 2004, or the Transport of Dangerous Goods by Road Act. That means the Chief Minister, why does the Chief Minister, need powers to exempt projects from these laws? And if the Chief Minister can assure us that they won't be or the Territory Coordinator won't be overriding these precautions, why do those laws need to be included in the schedule of the bill? The proposed role of the Territory Coordinator will dilute the expertise and effectiveness of the agencies and regulatory bodies that have been established to protect our environment. These agencies are staffed by experts and professionals who have years of experience and a deep understanding of the challenges we face. And the role of the Coordinator will undermine their ability to do their jobs properly and may lead to a weakening of our environmental safeguards. So the challenge this proposal poses is not only to our democratic values, but also to the integrity of the environmental protections that served us so well. And these are critical to managing the impacts of mining, to preserving our water and preparing for the challenges of climate change. These protections are not just symbolic, they're essential to our territory's future. The Environment Protection Act, the Climate Change Response Towards 2050 policy and the Territory Water Plan are not simply pieces of legislation. They're the foundation of our approach to sustainable development. These are not tools to be tampered with or undermined for political expediency. They are tools that ensure we can balance the needs of growth with the need to protect the unique environment that defines us. Concentrating power in one office with the authority to override or bypass critical environmental protections, risking compromising the very laws that protect our land, our water and our climate, This proposal doesn't simply challenge our environmental safeguards. As I've said, it challenges the integrity of the democratic processes that allow us to craft, implement and use these safeguards in a transparent and accountable way. Feedback that I've heard from people in my community is overwhelmingly negative and concerned about the centralisation of power, including people who come up to me and say, I support fracking, I support land clearing, but I do not support this proposal. People are saying to me, how can we trust the integrity of the consultation process if an interim coordinator has already been appointed to set up the office? How can we trust the government is actually listening to our concerns while it is already actioning the office and is preempting results of the consultation? How can we trust the government when they put someone in that position who we know worked for 10 years for a company that we understand that this bill is set up to advantage? It's a good question, or they're good questions. What we're being asked to accept is a shift away from a system that values public input, community engagement, expert advice and protecting our environment. Instead, we're being asked to trust a single individual to make far-reaching decisions without the same level of scrutiny or oversight that we all deserve. This is not democracy, this is not good governance. I want to thank the member for Nightcliff for moving the Gamblegrass motion today and for sharing the stories of community working together to protect our precious environment, places like Jabiluka and Lee Point. And I'm proud to say that tomorrow I'll be presenting this Parliament a petition for Lee Point from traditional owners to return Lee Point to them. I'll be presenting that to this chamber tomorrow. Madam Speaker, I'm committed to both protecting our democracy and protecting our environment. I want to ensure that our environmental laws remain strong, clear and effective. I put on record that I will not support a proposal that concentrates power in the hands of one person at the expense of our democratic rights and at the health of our environment. Thank you.